All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Hustle Podcast. It's me, your host, Melinda B. Powers. And today, I have finally wrangled. Okay, let me just be straight. So he has, his success in his own right, singer, actor, entertainer, but he's my little cousin. And his name is Jor'el Quinn. So welcome, Jor'el. Thank you for finally joining us.
First of all, you wrangled me. That's what it feels like.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming. Believe it or not, I think you said a year. Has it been a year and some change?
About that. Yeah.
And it took complete social distancing, quarantining to bring
us together.
Yes. And above all of that, yes, I'm baby cousin. I'm little cousin.
Yes, you are little cousin, but you are doing big things, and I'm so proud of you. And that's why I wanted to have you on as a guest. And I've been trying, and finally the stars aligned, and COVID-19
you know
said,
what?
okay.
I got more to talk about now than we had to talk about.
Well, there you go. Timing is everything, I guess.
Yeah. We added, that's a couple more minutes added on to this because we got a couple more projects that have happened since we first talked about it. So,
well, that's awesome. And I'm always happy to hear that stuff. So for the audience that doesn't know you like I do, tell us where you're from in the D. Give us some of your history and your background.
Yes, and I have on a Detroit snapback right now. It's the only type of caps, fitted hats, and snapbacks that I wear. I rep my city. From Detroit, the east side of Detroit, Michigan, born and raised my whole life. I went to, I went to private school all up until high school. And I think that's cruel to do to a person because you cannot get acclimated into public school in high school. I was like, wait a minute, the whole time it's been different. Then I walked in high school, 9th grade, like, yo, it's a whole nother way of life out here. So I went to private school from preschool to literally 8th grade. And that was a school called Hurlong Cathedral. Okay. Then for high school, I went to the only high school it really is in Detroit.
No, you didn't go to Cass.
No. Remember the best one. I was talking about the best one.
Lewis Cass Technical High School.
No, number
That's
one.
Where I went.
No, not number two, number one. So
you said you went to number two. That's right. You're right.
And we could keep that debate going all day. Yeah. I went to Renaissance High School. We used to have a joke. I went and graduated from Renaissance because it was some people who started with us that they went ahead and.
But you know where that joke started, though, right?
I'm gonna take a sip of water.
It's from Cass. Yeah, because I'm sure we've been saying it a lot longer.
Take a water break.
Yeah, there you go. Water break. There you go. Refresh yourself, my brother.
It's a real debate. I feel like it's a large group of Detroiters out in Los Angeles, even outside of the entertainment industry. And whenever I meet somebody, it's always a mutual, what school did you go to? So if it's, and it's not really the others that's in the competition, it's Cass and Renaissance. And so if I come in contact with somebody who went to Cass, it's always like, all right, are we going to do the debate now?
Yeah. I will have you note as well that you are the first Renaissance alum to appear on this podcast. It's been pretty much all Cass alumni. We just had a King alumni last week. So You're the first of the second. Congratulations.
You know who you have to have? Ooh. You have to have Angela Burchett, who just played Jackie Chisholm in the Clark Sister movie. She's from Detroit. Yes. We are all
at Cass.
She was always, Antea was always the different one because Anisha and Angela went to Renaissance. So I'm on record saying I support you having her on the show. Another Renaissance alumna, totally proud of her too.
And she's also worked with a friend of mine. He's a big brother of mine that went to Cass. He was a few years before me, but he actually was on season 1. Chad Hughes, he's the band director at Morehouse.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a lot of. And she's sang on some of his projects before. So
that's awesome. Yeah, we're doing the city. I'm proud to say all over the world I'm from Detroit. And there's also an expectation that comes with that, especially when you do music. And let's make it even smaller or more specific, gospel music. So much history has come straight from the city in gospel, and then Motown is its own thing. So no matter what you do musically, when you say I'm from Detroit, when you step foot on the stage, it's an expectation that I welcome, because it's like you always have to be, you're representing you, your family, but also the city. So it's just a lot of expectation that comes, but also a lot of support too. We support each other like, you know, like no other city.
That is so true. So, all right. So, you know, besides the mistake you made going to the second best school, like what happened after that? How did you like, how did you correct that?
So, yo, that we family for real, because when everybody says Cass, I say, oh man, and you made it through.
Right.
You did it. And you here in LA, I'm proud of you. You've overcome obstacles. The Lord's been good to you. You got a testimony.
Okay, we're having too much fun. You need to talk to the people now.
So what was your question?
So after that period of your life, when you finally got wise, what did you start doing after high school?
After high school, I had my eye on really pursuing music professionally, and who around me became the question that's doing it on the professional level that I would like to partner with or get signed to or do a project with. Who do I have access to? And at the time, it was a production company called Pajam. And we just talked about the Clark sisters. Their first cousin, Jay Moss, was one of the 3 members who headed up that production team. And I was a student of his vocal ability, but also as a producer, I said, that's somebody I would like to work with. Now I'm 17 at this point, you know, so I'm about to graduate. It's that period where you're figuring out college, you're figuring out career. What do I want to do? So I started trying to get the attention of that production company as a solo artist to pursue music and do a demo or something like that. And I was taking piano lessons from a guy named Bill Moss Jr., who is Jay's brother. So indirectly, I said, hey man, you know, I'm trying to pursue music a little bit. You mind introducing me to your brother? And to this day, you know, Bill has been very intricate in assisting me, very instrumental in assisting me to get to his brother to be heard. Got their attention. They liked what they heard, I guess, by the grace of God. And I started working.
He's so modest.
I started working with them as a solo artist.
Oh, okay.
Went to the studio one day to, you know, keep working on the project, and the group by the name of 2103, they were there at the studio, and I could tell something had just happened, but nobody was saying nothing. So I was just, you know, the new guy. It's like, everybody all right? Let me find out one of the group members had just quit that day, and it was crunch time because the album came out in 7 days. So that evening I was asked would I like to step in as like more of an interim period while they figure out what's going on, if he wants to come back, or while they audition new singers. The period they were signed to a label at this point. So the label didn't care who, but all they know is they signed three people, and 3 people need to show up in 7 days to sell this album.
Right.
So I said, you know, sure. It was like fast track. I had 7 days literally to learn the choreography that they had learned for years, to learn. It's a group. So we're talking harmonies. We're talking while you're on stage. We're talking placement, when to go here, when to go left. I had 6 days, honestly, to learn that, because now it's nighttime of this day. So I had 6 more days. And the first performance to introduce everyone to the group and the new music was MegaFest. In Texas.
Wow.
TD Jones, I'm TD Jakes. I put him and Noel Jones together. TD Jakes conference. I said, so in 6 days, I'm going to be at MegaFest with a new group that I've never sang with before. So it was very little sleep, as you probably know, and it was just learning music, learning material, choreography. and MegaFest was great. It went so great that they asked me to be a permanent member of the group. So on my, I couldn't even sign the contract. My parents had to, I was 17.
Right.
So they waited till the day after my 18th birthday. And then I signed to be with that group.
Mm-hmm.
So musically, that is how I started professionally, you know, the professional singing career. And that got me the opportunity to host 106 in Gospel on BET.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was another organic process because we were doing something on the red carpet of some type of event. And I was always the person out front speaking, you know, when the three of us.
Surprise.
Well, I was the one who wouldn't shut up. So I was talking and of course we didn't have this knowledge, but they were pitching this show that's the Christian equivalent to 106 in Park. And they were looking for a host. And they had Marvin Winans Jr., Kirk Franklin, Lil IROC. He was a rapper in gospel at the time, had all been auditioning for the show. And they said, hey, can you fly to New York and do the I said, if you would see me in this position, of course, I would love to audition for that. They had already selected the host. Was Angel of Trinity 5-7, and they were looking for a male co-host. And I got the position.
Wow.
So now I'm 20 or something like that, and now it's just my first opportunity doing television and loving it. And that got me to the first film that I did, Blessed and Cursed, Dietrich Haddon's film. One of the producers of the television show was producing the film. And it's really just happened, you know, like who you know. A lot happens in audition rooms, but a lot more happens on golf courts and in restaurants and relationships. Things begin.
And not just who you know, but who knows you.
All day. All day. I completely agree with that. Who knows who's willing to say, I know someone, give this guy a shot. Yep.
Wow. So let's back it up just a little bit, because I do remember, didn't you go on Star Search or audition for Star Search back in the day?
Yeah, Apollo.
Apollo. Okay, I know it was one of those. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just remember you were on TV and we were like,
yeah, little baby cousin, little baby cousin. It was. Look at. Ooh, sure. I was 12.
Wow.
I was 12 when I went on Apollo Kids. They did a talent search here at Northland Mall. And my mom heard about it and she was like, I think we should go ahead and just try out. And I was like, okay, knowing what Apollo was, but not really knowing like the history of who's hosted, who's performed on there, that eventually became who we know as a household name today. So I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't know. Even to this day, I don't like to know too much because my nerves get, everything's on this. No. Go, let the gift do the work. Let God do the work through you. So it definitely happened then because I didn't know anything. I won the talent search that they did here, and the grand prize was the opportunity to go to Apollo. And then I won on Apollo, so I was supposed to go back. And the day we were supposed to fly back was the one day out of the whole year that it was the biggest snowstorm that ever happened in the city, and no flights were leaving. So I missed the opportunity to go and film on Apollo. And that day I said, God is intentional. And I was 12, 13 maybe by the time it was time to go back. But I just feel like God was saying to me as a kid, he's intentional and you can't miss any opportunity. You can't miss something that's for you. There's something there that he didn't want me there for, or it wasn't time yet, you know?
Right.
So it was a great experience, and some of those relationships that we built then we still have today, but it just wasn't supposed to happen then. And so I think I had more peace then than about stuff that I do now as an adult, because you think about adulting, like, but the rent is due. My daughter wants to, so it's having to still remember that piece that I had at 12, 13 of
that
you cannot miss
faith.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes, childlike. There it is. The childlike faith. Yep. Having that as an adult.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I just know you were just always so on as a kid. I never remember you being quiet. I never remember you being like not in entertainment mode. You were either singing or telling a joke or doing magic tricks. You were always doing something. So it is not lost on me at all that this is what you decided to do for a living, because you've been doing this your whole life.
And I feel like when you pay attention to what kids do just innately, it's communicating who they are to be, because you don't know what to put on. Like, you can't put on as a child. You don't know enough. You don't know about facades or representing yourself. You're just being you. Right. And I watch my daughter now. She's 10 now, by the way. Where did time go?
Oh my God.
She's 10. And I just watch how exactly. I'm trying to slow time up just a little bit. Yeah. But when I look at the things that she does purely and genuinely and sincerely, that's communicating the gifts that God has put in you. And it's my job to foster that. So instead of telling you, sit down, be quiet. No, you operating in a, something, you have a gift inside of you, and you feel, it feels right to do this. You don't, might not be aware of callings or your purpose per se yet, but it feels right when I do this. And parents, I thank God for my parents cultivating that and not telling me, stand up from the piano, get up from it. No, you can't have a microphone. What kid asked for a mic? You know what I mean? Like, they didn't say no. The magic store,
Right.
They just as random as I want to be. The guitar. Oh, so now you play the guitar now. Oh, now you play the piano. If you stop that stuff, you're suppressing gifts that ain't for you, but it's for people. So now hearing that people are blessed by me operating in a gift that my parents cultivate, it's like we're all a part of this. From family to my cousins. I was thinking about earlier today in another in another interview. We roll deep.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't comment, but I saw. I was like,
okay, you were in there. Yeah,
I was there. Yeah.
It's over 30 of first cousins. And then they had kids, and I'm the youngest of the first because I came along.
Right, because we're not in the same generation. You're younger than me, but you're in the generation above me.
Exactly. So when I think about the support that I even have from my like that's monumental to me. That means keep going, So, yeah.
Well, so we gone back. We started the journey. So at what point, so when you were doing this 2103 stuff and all of that, were you living in LA or were you still living in Detroit?
In Detroit. Okay.
How long did you stay in Detroit?
2103 before going to LA.
Yeah.
It was the week I graduated high school up until I was 23. So from 17 to 23, it was still in Detroit and just traveling, doing dates, flying out, but base home was still Detroit.
Right.
And we went to LA. My first trip to LA was the Celebration of Gospel that we taped. And when I landed, something felt right. I said, now I've landed in a lot of other cities.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to go back home. I like being home. Like when I land in other cities, it's like, all right, let's do this and get on back
and
to
go
the house.
Home. Yeah.
But LA felt like I was home and I wasn't in a rush to go back to the airport.
Gotcha.
And after everything went great, Celebration of Gospel. And then I got a chance to kind of be outside and just kind of see the landscape of this city. And I said, yeah. And to me that meant, oh, this is
it,
home. This is where home is.
Right.
So I talked to my parents on the phone. I said, I'm moving here. They was like, yeah, okay, cool. What time you flight? Come back in tomorrow? They're just like, you've never been there before. That's so far from where we're from or from where we live. And coming back, my flight was delayed. And I kind of felt like, what you saying?
You in flight, yeah.
Yeah, flight. Listen, there is a thing. That never even dawned on me. The Lord talks to me a lot through these planes. Yeah. So the flight was delayed, and I said, not being deep or anything, but I'm like, I'm not mad at this delay, and let me sit in it. Let me see what does this mean? I'm supposed to be here a little longer. So when I turned 23, I ended up leaving the group, and took a year to kind of figure out what was next. And I felt so out of place being in a place where I know God had said, leave from. Not to say sometimes you outgrow places, but I don't feel it was I don't feel like it was that. I feel like it was more so there's more for you now to do elsewhere. You've done what you were supposed to do here for this season.
Yeah.
And now there's another element, there's another level of purpose that I have for you there. And I know it's all him because, yes, we have family in California, but I knew no one. And growing up, we would only see them ever so often, being that it was two cities so far apart. But it took me literally having all faith. I had no relationships built socially or, in the entertainment industry for business at all. So the Lord said, I want you there. And it took that year to say, all right, let's figure this out. And that's so it's been 7 years now that I've been in LA.
Wow, it's been that long?
Yeah.
And you still travel quite a bit, because I know you go back and forth to Detroit.
Yeah.
Because I know that's the last time I caught you. That's where you were, because I was there.
It was in Detroit. I know, that's right.
That was a couple of years. No, that was no. That wasn't the last time I went. That was the time before that. So that was like 2015?
Maybe about
2015.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I was there for a wedding.
Stop making it that long. Stop making it be that
long.
No,
that's true. That's true. Because the last time I was there was 18. So it's been 2 years since I've been. And the time before that was 3 years. Yeah. Been a long time.
And you were in LA for a time that we didn't get to connect.
Yeah, and then we didn't connect. I was there last year. And for around Labor Day. And then I was there another time a few years before that. So yeah, you're hard to catch.
Yeah. It takes a quarantine. We're gonna get it all accomplished now. It takes quarantine to lock down. Yes.
So tell us how things changed for you once you moved to LA, and just touch on something. Because I mean, I kind of want to brag on you just a little bit, if I may. I love that you've been so into being funny, because you're a very funny guy. Like I said, you've been a ham since you were yay tall.
No, I'm kidding.
So I love that you take, and I not only love that you like to be funny, but I like that you take things that people don't always assume should be funny or can be funny and make them funny. So, because you're always in the realm of faith and Christianity, some people don't feel like you can joke about that, but you find a way to do that sometimes in some of the most unique ways. I'm like, how did he think of that? Like, where did that come from?
Thank you.
So your comic, the cartoon you did was hilarious. Your little lives when you just are speaking candidly, or you do like a little mini sermon that's something really different. Like, I like those. Those always really get me laughing. And then I love the playmakers and all the deaf guys. And I connected with Kev when he came here in Jacksonville. I was like, you know my cousin. I'm dressed.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me. I remember.
I had to make sure I shouted that out. But, I follow all of the stuff you've done online and social media. And so how did you transition from the singing to that and then the acting as well?
Wow. So I feel like growing up, it was always more than just singing. And that's why I gravitated toward plays. Like the church play, if I heard it was we're doing a play, that was like, that meant everything, because you get to operate in so many different elements. Like it's the acting. Sometime it was like, like choreography or whatever, and singing. So you get to do all of it inside of one, under one umbrella. High school, I'll say, really introduced me into what you would call musical theater. We did, Black History Month pieces. Our choral director would write pieces that we did. And then we went on Black college tours and we did the presentation of the concert that we would do back in the auditorium at the school. And by high school, I'm talking about Renaissance, the number one. in case we forgot, I just wanted to highlight that. So at Renaissance, we would do these pieces, and that was my introduction into, it can be more than just the song, but you can interpret a character through the acting and singing. And I thank you for saying, noticing that about even the stuff for Instagram. I find that if people find something humorous, they'll share it. You can say the deepest thing you want and it could bless you and you might share it. But when you laugh about something, you want to put it in your group chat. You want to tell somebody, hey, come look at this. You want to send it to them. So what I always say, it all depends on what you are first. And if you are an actor first, by all means, do things that serve the actor. If you're a singer first, do things that serve the singer. If you cook, do things that serve the cook first. I think that I believe he gave me these gifts to minister him. So I believe first, I'm a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, the real one, not the not the one, the churchy one or the religious one, the real one, the relationship. Jesus loves you. He came and died for you and as you, and he rose and he's alive now. And we now are redeemed back to God and we're loved. The real gospel. So all the branches and all the gifts serve who I am first. The singing serves the minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ first. The acting serves the minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ first. So when you talk about comedy, it has to be even wrapped in a package that's relatable and that's something that people want to look at. If you come and preach at people, that sounds so condemning. I don't even enjoy that.
Yeah, I agree.
Present it to me in a package where it's real, it's relatable, and then there's an element of when you don't make church boring, you get people's attention. Even when you preach, like I'm a student of it. So when I listen to preachers, comedy is used from John Gray to Joel Osteen because it gets my attention. I'm able to get information more. Even it's like when you homeschool kids, when you mix up, yes, do your math while walking around the table. It's like it's engaging more opposed to a construct, a confinement,
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for saying that because that's how the page has been growing. People find it funny. And when you listen long enough, it's a message inside of it.
Right.
In a package to where it's like, yes, I'll eat this. I'll eat this message. So when you say how has life changed in LA, my eyes have been open to a broader spectrum of what ministry can be and what real ministry should be. I believe that if you stay within a building, you'll reach the people in that building. And some people are called to it. No shade. Some people are called to minister inside the four walls of their church. Then other people are called to go get the people who has either been hurt by church or people who have just not gonna come,
Right.
You gotta go get them. So wouldn't God being strategic and intentional give you these gifts that send you? Acting puts me in rooms that calling myself a gospel artist wouldn't or didn't,
Right.
Musical theater puts me in front of people who otherwise wouldn't come to the church. So it's gotten me out of a closed mindedness of ministry looks like
This, yeah, and only this.
It looks like this and only this. No, ministry does look like that, but it also looks like this. So also, you know, what changed is realizing that rent is not the same in Michigan that it is in
no,
California.
It's not.
There's a large gap. There is a, I mean, the interval is disrespectful, you know, so just to look at my coins leave, life changed in that way as well. But just adjusting to a whole new, it's way different from Detroit. You know, it's a big city. You know, our largest freeway here has 3 lanes. It's 7 in LA.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So just
and it's always congested.
And it's always traffic, you know? It's never not
I
rush hour.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I don't have
I really I enjoy it, you know, being able to be exposed to the like you say, as a kid, just around here quoting movies or doing things, being in a place where that is, I'm being cultivated even today, you know, in the gift of, I won't say where it's accepted, because it's accepted here and it was accepted in the house, but the entertainment industry is surrounding, it's down the street, and it's the possibilities, you know, are endless as far as what you can grow in. So I like it.
All right. Well, so you were telling me before we got on that luckily we let this whole year pass because so much more has happened. So fill me in just on the last year in a little capsule.
The last year, I have began doing music production for TV. Stuck With You, the first series, writer-director Patricia Cuffy Jones. She has a series on UMC called Stuck With You. And the season is about, I want to say 10 episodes, and 3 of those episodes, I'm doing music production on that, which is a field that I happened into that I absolutely love, having the opportunity to really set the tone for what the emotions that the scene is to evoke through music. That's a gift. I, in the last year, did my first sitcom role on Bounce TV's Family Time. That show. And I now am a songwriter. I have a song that went gold. Why I Love You by Major.
I was gonna forget about that part. Like once you got off of the group, I kind of forget about the music sometimes. But yes, I did, and I shared that. I shared that on social media. Like,
thank you. Yeah, to get to see your gold plaque. Did y'all send this to the right address? This is mine. It has my name on it. That is an experience. Like to look at a gold plaque with your name on it. So very proud of that song.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of. Definitely.
Thank you.
So what are you working on right now?
Right now, interestingly enough, music. Definitely working on music. And during these quarantine chronicles, I've just been writing, you know, having the opportunity to write. I've literally had my guitar every single day. And I normally write, like Why I Love You, that came from keys. I've been writing on guitar, which is I feel like it brings about a whole nother different vibe, because like the acoustic guitar just brings out I feel like, man, India.Arie is close. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, this vibe. That's what I thought of. This acoustic guitar vibe, the Lauryn Hill, that, you know? So working on a solo project as we speak.
It's about time.
Yeah, I think so. It took so long to actually feel like, okay, you know, the group over, what do we want to do in acting? What do we to compartmentalize and say, no, now it's time you have something to say.
Sure.
As a solo artist.
Do you have any kind of time frame for this project?
I did before they told us outside was closed. So now that everything has changed, we're just I'm gonna let it flow. We're in that period of just like letting happen. Let not stop work. Don't stop working. Do your part. But as far as timing, that part is not up to
fluid.
us,
It's fluid.
go ahead and it's going to happen, but be open
Right.
to whenever, God says, okay, now the time is to do that.
Okay. So now I got to backtrack. Now we got to get to the more Detroit-centric part, because that's where the title comes from.
Yeah.
And then in the wake of COVID-19 and the bad press that Detroit has been getting, this is hopefully going to be a ray of light. And that was the point of me creating this podcast, to give Detroit something good that could be said about it on a regular basis, because we all have heard all the negative, but we know better because we've seen it from the inside out. Usually the worst naysayers have never even been.
Yeah.
So
right.
I want you to tell the people in just a couple of ideas, or maybe a paragraph or so, what makes the D so special in your experience? Like, how it contributed to who you are. Like, what does it mean to you to be from Detroit?
I wouldn't want to be from another city. And I say that because what makes the city special is the people. 100%. All day, it's the people that I didn't know were the people until I went elsewhere. You don't know something that not, you can't say how special what you have is until you experience different. So it didn't start till I started traveling. And, even from it's ingrained in you when you're from a place to operate that way. If you stay inside your house, when the way you operate with the people inside your house is how it translates outside. Then you see outside doesn't operate how you operate in your house. Okay, cool. So you adjust. Now let's open it up a little bit. You interact with the people around your city a certain way. Then you go to another city and you interact with those people that way. And it doesn't quite
connect.
Your response was supposed to be this, and your response was that wasn't right, Right. And then you say, oh, it's the people from where I'm from. So just a little bit more information about that. The people from Detroit there's no facades. Like there's no I don't like you, but I act like I will. And there's if I don't like you, I don't rock with you. Ain't no problem with it, but I just don't, we don't get along. We're not going to go further in this journey together. And then if people do rock with you, you get the love, you get the support. I get so much support. I have the analytics on Instagram. You can see your top rating cities. And one of the top cities is Detroit, my city. It's just, we support each other. And it means everything to me to have that, support. I love going places saying I'm from Detroit. It just has outside of industry, of course it has the gospel music industry, Motown, all of that. It has that, but just the camaraderie of the people, the support of the people, having each other's backs. And especially during these times, like what people are doing in order to help others, and just the spirit of people from the city is just legit the best, and I wouldn't have it any other kind of way, And now that downtown is being built up, every time I come back to Detroit, I go downtown to see what new has been built, what new restaurant, what new sites.
It's so amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, Hart Plaza and what used to be Cobo Hall, Greektown and all of that stuff, Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. Well, that was we kind of had a different take on that same type of response last week. As far as the Mara Hall, she brought up that good-hearted people come from Detroit, and she learned when she left that not everyone was like that. And I tend to agree with her. I tend to agree with you both on that. So thank you for contributing that little layer. We got a lot of layers going. That, and it's getting richer and richer every time.
I'll give you a short anecdote really quickly.
Okay.
Just to see how you think everybody operates like your people. I think a lot of people from here came from the South and raised their children here with the Southern mentality of being hospitable, being kind, speaking, like literally speaking to somebody has become like that doesn't happen everywhere. It happens in the city of Detroit, even if you just don't, What up?
Yeah,
That means every day.
dog.
What's up, man? How you doing? You all right? Your sister all right? Your cousin all right? That it's all taken care of in the quick head nod.
Mm-hmm.
Went to LA. So it was the way I grew up. When you come in the house, you speak to everybody in the house. If you have someone over for dinner, you treat your guests. Treat your guests right.
Mm-hmm.
I was invited over one time to a house, Los Angeles house. And dinner was offered. And literally the family that offered dinner to come over for dinner was sitting down. And, the table is made for their house. So there was not another seat. I stood up and ate. And I said, this would never even be allowed. My mom would tell me to stand up before a guest. So I just said, this is just a result of where you're from. And the teaching that has been instilled. That would never happen. That would never happen in my house. So it's just become things like that make you really appreciate where you're from.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you for that. That's very interesting.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting to me too. Yes.
Yeah, I stood for dinner.
I was like, y'all don't know that this is awkward. I ain't gonna say nothing, but woo, sure would be nice to sit down.
All right, so let's get to the core of the broadcast. This is my game I like to call the Fab Five. A play on the overview of them. Yes. And so I'm going to ask you about five of your favorite Detroit things. And this is kind of almost rapid fire, so we get through this quickly. But if you got a little story, you can throw it in. So number one, your favorite Detroit place or landmark?
Hart Plaza.
Okay, that was quick.
Riverwalk, love it. Love it. I want to go right now. You just made me miss outside.
I'm
Hands
sorry.
down,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Number two. Now this one's made to be a little tough. Your favorite Detroit restaurant or dish, past or current?
Restaurant. Okay, let's go to a place. Let's go downtown. Somewhere downtown. Let's go Fishbones.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to Fishbones. But see, I'm fat, so I like so many other places. I gotta get some honorable mentions. Honorable mentions.
Yeah, sure.
Pizza Populist. I have to go to Pizza Populist every time I'm in Detroit. Pizza Populist. There is a little gem that God put on this earth called Nicola's. I have to go to Nicole. Yeah, you're gonna have to. Where's that at? It's in Southfield.
Oh, what kind of cuisine?
It's in Southfield. It's American, but I'm talking like ribs and all of that kind of chicken.
Goodness.
The fish, all that. Yeah. Then there's like Uptown barbecue and like man.
Right.
The food, it's so many places.
It is. I'm
hungry. Yeah, I'm getting hungry. Sweetwater for wings. Sweetwater.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of that's me all day.
Yeah, it's Sweetwater, not Sweetwater. Southern Fires, did that close?
Yes, but they changed the name, so it's not closed. It's now Southern Fire Urban Soul. It's now called Urban Soul.
Okay.
Yes.
That was pretty good soul food, and I'm not big on going out for soul food, but that was good. Okay.
I love.
All right. We could talk about food all day, but we won't.
Yes.
Move on to number 3. Your favorite downtown event, and I mean just only downtown, so a festival, fireworks, art show, parade, any of those kind of things.
I would have to say I really like the Arts, Beats, and Eats.
Okay.
I don't know if they still call it that, I think like the Jazz Fest or something like that. Now they changed the name. But I like it because it's a lot of different things accomplished in one. So it's the vendors with the shea butter. you get
the oil.
The oils and stuff like that. And it's also food. But my favorite part is the entertainment. There's always a concert series of some sort. So I remember I went for Frankie Beverly came one year. So, Chemistry, he's from Detroit. So he is oftentimes doing a set there. That's the other thing about Detroit. If we have something like some people from the city is always going to come back and, show love. So Arts Beats and Eats, I love it. It's that's just as Detroit as you can be. You can't get more Detroit than a festival. Shea butter, food, and music.
So silly. All right, we got 2 more.
Okay.
Number 4. Now, I don't know if this is a giveaway from your headgear, but your favorite Detroit sports team.
I just got to be real. They make us work. We try to support.
I already know.
We try. We really try.
It's rough. It's so rough.
I want to be a Pistons fan. But it's hard. It's rough. It wasn't always. But I was young. I was like a kid. I didn't have an opportunity.
Wait a minute. Were you born? What?
Bad Boys. No, it was like
when the
89. What was that?
Yeah,
I was born in 88. So I didn't know what was what.
That. Right.
No. So by the time I was aware, we were working on eyes, ears. We were working on that kind of basketball. Nah.
Right. So you had that one championship in your lifetime that you remember.
Yes, I remember that. Shoot and yes sir, Hamilton and
right. So, okay, so it's the Pistons then. Okay.
It's the Pistons.
So I thought you were gonna say the Lions the way you started. I'm
loosely.
Like, oh Lord.
No, that's a whole nother thing. I'm gonna go basketball. I'm still gonna go basketball. Okay, cool. All right, and so but last night, and this makes me so sad that we're gonna be done after this. This is it. Okay, I'm gonna stretch this one out.
Don't stretch it too far. So crazy. So this is more of a freestyle. Okay. Number 5. Your favorite Detroit memory. And what I mean by that is a memory that's so Detroit to you, you can't classify it as anything else.
Got it.
Go.
It was a night in July. And I'm a fireworks guy. Okay. I like to either light them or go to the parade where they do it. Yeah. And downtown Detroit, like really a lot of attention, money, and focus and heart goes into the parade show. So it was July 4th, and somebody called for me to come sing at a church. And I was like, I had to be probably 8. So I was looking at my parents like, y'all gonna say no, right? Like it's July 4th. Why are they even doing something? Like, and they eventually moved the show, but I think it was on July 4th. I said, y'all gonna say no? Like, we're going to the fireworks show. And they said yes. I said, I gotta go sing. I don't want to go sing. I want to go watch the fireworks show. So what we did was they assured me that after I sung, they were going to take me to the show. So we did business first. Now it was pleasure later. It was time to have fun. And so, thank you. It was time to have the fireworks show. This is the Detroit thing about it. It was so packed to get into the fireworks show. Once we made it downtown, it was like, oh man, we're not going to be able to get on the lawn. We're not going to get on the grass or anything like that. So everybody stopped once the show started, stopped on the freeway. And I'll never forget where we were. We were right in the beginning of, in the front of Cobo Hall. And everybody stopped, and they let me get out the car, and we watched the fireworks show.
From the freeway.
From the freeway, just on the car, watching the fireworks show. And it felt like all your family was there. Like, we didn't know. Him, her, him, and her. But it felt like, we're all in this together. We are all watching this thing. This is a heart of a Detroit thing. So I say it's one of the greatest Detroit memories because it was comprised of everything Detroit. The church community in Detroit is second to none. It's like church, Detroit, you go to church. Everybody's cousin is a pastor, preacher, something. So we satisfied like the what you have to do, and you do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And so as a kid, it's like, don't necessarily put that off. Do what you have to do, and then after that, there's always time for. And it wouldn't even have been that like family camaraderie oriented had we probably went there only. But we got church in, and then we got to be downtown Detroit, just amongst everybody else who just here for the love of it. Just come out and watch the fire show as a family, the Detroit family.
That's a cool little story. I like that.
Yeah.
I like how you like, y'all don't say no, right?
Yeah. Like, what do you mean? That's a clear no. Right? Like, we don't have to ask about this one. This is a no, right? It was a yes.
Right.
It was a yes and. Yes, then.
Yes. Well, thank you I am so happy we finally got this done.
I'm
so glad to see you doing well and just being happy and in your element, doing your thing. I'm so proud of you, as I've already said, but I won't stop saying I love you so much.
Love you
for
too.
Blessing our broadcast. Thank you. You've added to it. Thank you for the value added. And I just can't wait to see you again, whether it's on screen or in person. I get to hug your neck. But I'm always looking out, and I love what you're doing. Just keep it up. We're so proud.
Thank you. And because you're cousin, I have to say thank you for doing this platform. Thank you for providing the space to be able to shed light in a good way, to show people the good about our city and what we're doing, what people are doing in career, who are from here. This is the foundation. The foundation was built here, and we take that and we go out. So thank you for highlighting that.
Not a problem. It's my pleasure. It is simply a pleasure. All right. Well, everybody, thanks so much. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week on the Detroit Hustle Podcast. Bye.
Peace.